But let's segue into Disney Plus. Speaking of streaming services, so Disney Plus exclusive trailer for a new series unheard of in the past, The Mandalorian. They dropped the trailer at D23 and we've heard about it, but then they actually like I saw like the clips of like the cell phone stuff and but then they actually like released it and oh my gosh, I am so freaking hyped. I'm glad I'm jumping on this Disney Plus train.
True.
Like earn real quick, like dude.
What?
The hype. Oh, sorry. What'd you think?
You cut out. We were waiting. There was so much intenseness there. We were waiting to hear what you were going to say to him.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Look, there's Apollo Creed. I mean, like you put Star Wars and Apollo Creed together, and I've already given them
John Favreau behind it.
Yeah.
Like,
at this point, we don't know too much about it outside of the description saying that it takes place in between of episode 6 and episode 7.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility that we'll get Jedis in here at some point. So this show has like major amounts of potential. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, they spared no expense with the show, which is great.
I will say, and again, the Netflix rule of everything's +2 in our books if we have the streaming services already. And it's essentially almost not free, but content that's just right there in front of you. As someone who knows, like, I am not crazy about the newest direction that a lot of the Star Wars movies has taken. I'm not really that excited, or wasn't that excited for, the next Rise of Skywalker or whatever. But this trailer, I will say, has gotten me really excited for this series. Like, I think it's gonna be. It looks pretty good from the trailers alone. And I'm excited to be able to jump into the series and hopefully see a different direction than just what the movies have done.
It looks like a darker, grittier take, but my favorite part is I am loving series. Like, I want limited series because I want more content. Like, that's what it is. And we're going to get a series out of Star Wars instead of waiting years for movies. We can have it now.
Right.
That's interesting. So that was something that had been rumored that I heard that Netflix was trying to do with their own original content, that their new direction is that they're not going to make series and shows that last or spam 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons until the popularity drops off. What their new focus is trying to be, at least from what I heard, is make a show and just have it be planned to be 2 seasons and then done, and then move on to the next, because it gets, people want more money, actors want to get paid more, directors want to get paid more, so it's just easier to go and would you guys want that with a series like this? Would you want just only 2 seasons? Like 2 seasons. The
Mandalorian?
Done? Yeah.
I don't know.
It depends. Like I would have to see what their plan is, because like with Disney doing their own stuff, you could plan another series, right, and remove all of the actors except for the guy playing the Mandalorian, and he could be in a different show.
Right.
So if they do something about the Jedi Temple that Luke puts together in between 6 and 7, then they could send them out and run into this guy. You have that cohesive world building that they've already done.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I think, man, I don't know. I'm just, the possibilities of what they could do with all these things. And you're right. Like, why wouldn't they? They have that similar strategy when it comes to MCU stuff and like WandaVision, merging into Doctor Strange stuff or affecting that. Like, why couldn't they do that with Star Wars stuff, and be able to tell a lot more of that expanded universe or legacy universe storyline?
We've needed that for so long. I actually was talking to Jack of All Studio last night after rehearsal about some of this, and we were like theory crafting, of course, and but we were nerding out, and he we were just like, we need more of that in the Star Wars. Like we started again with Marvel, but we do need that with Star Wars to fill in those gaps, because after the EU was not canon, like we need more canon like stuff in, and this is a perfect way to do it, is start with this and then add more down the line with Disney Plus.
Right.
Aren't they bringing back Clone Wars? I think they are.
I think they are.
And then we have another piece of Disney news that we're talking about a little bit later that I'll save, but another Star Wars show that was announced at D23. Like, they're bringing it all in. So as long as they can do it right, we're gonna be on a gold mine for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Unending content.
Yeah, seriously.
If it's done correctly, though, that's the problem.
Right.
Wait, what?
So if it's done correctly, because that's ultimately
Yes.
the problem.
Well,
Because Disney and Marvel and all them, they're masters at making great trailers. And I'll have more to say on that the next trailer that we watch.
Yeah. All right, so with that segue, should
Let's
we
move to
just
the next-
go right to the next
Yeah.
one? Matt, lead us
Okay.
in.
Like I pitched that to you, like
Yeah.
here's the segue. Boom.
Yeah. Well, so
Move
speaking
over,
of Star
Ken.
Wars and trailers done well, at D23 they also dropped the Star Wars trailer for Episode 9. Like, it was a full trailer, right?
Yeah.
It's a full trailer.
Full trailer with a twist at the freaking end. Like, I was so hyped when I saw this. I've seen it now probably 10 times. And of course, my hype is real. But, dude, okay, I'm going to start it off. Like, Jay, you're not a fan of the newest Star Wars movies, but did this trailer do anything for your little heart?
I mean, like half of the trailer is just recut footage from the original series. So like I like that part of it, and you know, I get it. They're playing on nostalgia. I hope, and you know, I hope it's not just a continuation of just like repeating storylines. But I will say, from the new stuff that we kind of saw in there and the development of it, I'm like it could be good. I'm hoping JJ can bring it back and give us something new and something creative and really like take these characters somewhere, you know, unique or a little bit different. I think seeing Carrie Fisher was kind of sweet moment to see in there, if I remember at the end of the trailer, and the race stuff. But I'll kind of say that to start with. It hasn't like made me I need to see this on opening night, but more like, yeah, I will see this in theaters probably still. Whereas before I was like, I'll just wait till $5 Tuesday or like whatever. It's like I'll go see it with friends at some point.
I showed the boys the trailer. Everyone here is hyped about it. We are gonna go see it on opening night.
Nice.
Like as a family.
I mean, like if you invited me and bought me a ticket and I flew out there, and like then I'd see it on opening night. Then I'd be cool. Because I'd be more excited for you guys to see this movie and want to watch your reactions than I care to even watch the movie.
Okay, well then, Ern, what did you think about this trailer?
So, Force Awakens and Last Jedi all have amazing trailers.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
But the execution has been absolutely destructive, horrific filmmaking. So, like, you know, that's why they made this trailer the way they did. They start off with Luke Skywalker. They show you a bunch of the Holy Trilogy. Then they throw the tiny bit of George Lucas's prequels, and then they rock into what we're going to see in the movie ahead. I don't like what they've done. Force Awakens, in my opinion, was a remake of A New Hope, just a crappier way, because you couldn't cheer for Rey because she was kicking everybody's butt.
Yeah.
And then The Last Jedi was one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life.
You don't like Rose? The creation of Rose is the greatest. Love to save them, man.
The Last Jedi is an entire hear me out conversation.
True.
Right. So I don't want to start down that. So I don't think that they're going to end this trilogy well at all. You know, when you look and if you pause the final scene when this dark Rey is it's clearly a CGI face, whether it's a dream sequence or what. It's not. I don't think it's Daisy, because Daisy is she's a skinny girl, but it seems like whatever we see is way too slender. Her face is too slender. So I think that it's either dream sequence or it's all CGI. It's not actually her.
I'm more intrigued to find out what's going on with C-3PO and why his eyes are red more than I am.
What happened to the red arm? The red arm just disappeared in the last movie. Now he's got red eyes.
Yeah.
So you pause it right there, right?
I got it for you.
Look at her face. It's slender. It's kind of like kind of got tone that she normally doesn't have. And then if you pause it, like when she flips out the lightsaber, she's like, it's super skinny, kind of slender, tall.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like her at all.
So again, although I'm not personally invested in this movie too much myself, I like still the theory aspect of movies, of course, and trying to predict what's going on. So there's been a couple different things that I've read and seen, and one that I kind of believe right now, at least, where so one of them is it's a dream sequence. It's it's Dark Jar Jar, exactly, hipster. So there's been that one going around. There's it's a vision that Rey's having or of some kind from Palpatine or something like that. But my favorite one right now, I think that I'm leaning the most towards is that Rey has like there's some type of twin,
or a clone.
Or clone. There's always been, like Luke and Leia, and in the expanded universe, there's always like stories of twins, and even like I think is it Luke who has the twins in the expanded universe? I'm trying to remember.
No, it's Leia has a twin.
Leia has the twins. EU. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
right.
I think could it be the same thing here where she just was under someone else, and that's why she looks a little different, like you were saying, or a little skinnier, just a little different from Rey. And this is I don't know. I was trying to think of other Rey names. The other day when I was listening to it, I was like, what could her name be? Rose, or Raven, or Raven sounds like a dark
Raven.
Name. Yeah.
Raven.
Well, it is from the Old Republic.
Yeah. So
or is it Raven or Raven? It's Raven.
So yeah, Rose is such a joke,
dude. Okay,
coming back to that.
So real quick. Yeah, I loved Force Awakens. I made myself enjoy Episode 8. Okay, I know.
Enjoy.
Well, okay, there were parts that were enjoyable, but a lot of it was dumb. Okay, the way they treated the characters. But I did like Episode 7. It felt like a love letter. I know, Ern. Hey, we can agree to disagree all we want, buddy.
I'm just shaking my head.
I know. I can see over here. I can see your eyes. It's okay. But if anyone could turn this around, I might be me being a fanboy. I think JJ could do something with this final one. But I have high hopes because I do love JJ Abrams.
Right. And keep in mind, okay, I don't like every single movie I've gone into, I've wanted to like. I want to love this movie. I want to go in there. I want to be wowed by the story. I want to come out and say that this is every Star Wars movie I go into. I'm like, I want this to be the greatest.
You're not Alan going in hating everything.
Right. That's my point. But ultimately, it's like I even though I haven't enjoyed these movies, I've seen them on opening night. I saw Rogue One on open night. I saw Han Solo on open night. Like I saw all these movies on open night, and I will see this one on open night. But it's just my experiences just haven't been good with episode 7 and 8.
Yeah.
But I still go in there hoping, saying, "Here's my money."
Yeah.
Disney. Take it.
I think that's the only difference between me and you is where I've gotten to the point just with I think The Force Awakens had so much hype and there was just so much excitement of like, oh, Star Wars is coming back. It's a new generation. It's all this stuff, and there was so much potential there, and like we all walked out of that going, okay, they gave us a little like we'll have to see where the series goes, and they just really dropped the ball in my opinion with the last one. That like I don't feel like I need to go opening night. I don't feel like if I hear anything about the story, I'm gonna get it ruined. I do want to, but I do go in there with the same aspect of like I want to enjoy the movie. I don't want to go and pay $5 on $5 Tuesday and then like be like, well, I just wasted 2 hours of my life. Like I want to enjoy this movie.
Right.
I really hope it's good. We'll just have to wait and see.
Well, and I feel the same way when it comes to Force Awakens. So like my biggest complaint, and again, I don't want to start it all the way again, but like when I went into Force Awakens, I was expecting like an original story because this world that they've given us is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, right? So they could think of anything that they wanted to, and we would have accepted it. But instead, they gave us another Death Star with another character in a desert with force powers but only this time we watched Luke struggle through 3 movies, and this character they gave us kicked everybody's butt, was smarter than all the characters that we love. Like she was smarter than Han Solo with the Millennium Falcon, but ultimately there was no struggle with the story at all. And just the sheer fact that it was like, okay, they built this Death Star with one like place where if you shoot it just right, it blows up again. It's like, come on, you could have written anything, and you still would have money.
But she wasn't as whiny as Luke.
I don't care about the whininess. That's part of growing up. When you look at A New Hope, and then you look at the way they're talking to the Emperor in Return of the Jedi, it's a completely different character from. I just want to join the intergalactic force. Yeah.
I demand. Look,
Right.
the one thing for me that could really turn this movie around, and I will be the biggest advocate for, is if we get Dark Jar Jar. I want them to
Well, if you-
redeem Jar Jar Binks.